Millions of people have lost weight with personalized plans from Noom. Like Evan, who can't stand salads and still lost 50 pounds.
Salads generally for most people are the easy button, right? For me, that wasn't an option. I never really was a salad guy. That's just not who I am. But Noom worked for me.
Get your personalized plan today at Noom.com. Real Noom user compensated to provide their story. In 4 weeks, the typical Noom user can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. Individual results may vary.
Hello and welcome to the first Speedway Tavern of 2020. Actually, can we just take the music down completely? Right. I hope people don't think that I'm being self-indulgent or preachy. What follows is from the heart. Speedway's been rocked over the past few weeks with the terrible and quantifiable news of the death of Danny Ayres. This news has affected each and every one of us, fans, riders, promoters, sponsors, everyone. It's hit us hard. But our hearts, souls and minds go out to the people that have been hit the hardest, Danny's friends and family. A Speedway family comes together in times like this, and I can only hope that that provides some small comfort, and know that you are very much in our thoughts. But I want to talk now to another group of people that will have been affected by this horrible, horrible event. Those people that woke up this morning disappointed by the simple fact that they did wake up. Those of you who try so hard to get through another day smiling, laughing, joking, but all the time over your shoulder is a black cloud that you just can't get rid of. And it's tiring, very tiring trying to get to the end of the day and finally succumbing to blessed sleep if your mind allows you to. And sometimes it can be so tiring that it seems easier to just give up. So you will know who you are. You could be a rider or a fan or anyone, because anyone can become affected with this insidious disease that we call depression, and that no one, least of all you, wants to talk about. So please, 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 if you feel like that, talk to someone, anyone. It doesn't matter if it's 2 a.m, talk to someone. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Talk to a friend, talk to an enemy, talk to a stranger, talk to family. And if you are one of those people that have been chosen to receive this information, the most important thing that you can do is listen. Be aware. If someone comes and tells you that they're feeling a little down today, it just might be more than Monday morning blues. So sit down and listen and don't judge. You might just save a life. And if you can't think of someone to talk to, then ring the Samaritans. Sometimes it's easier to talk to someone you don't know. They won't judge you, but it will help. I know this because they helped me several times at 3 o'clock in the morning. Their number is 116123. And everyone should have that number, if not for themselves, then for that someone that just might approach you out of the blue with sad eyes. Just to make it absolutely crystal clear that I'm not just somebody jumping on a bandwagon here. I know what I'm talking about. I have and do suffer from depression. I have woke up in the early hours crying with no idea why. And I have been so low that I have attempted to take my own life. I was lucky. I was ham-fisted and I botched it up. And the Samaritans saved my life. That's not me being dramatic. It's just true. And here's what I know. If I had succeeded, I would have not seen my oldest leave sixth form college with exam results that put him in the top 1% of the country, and attend University of Birmingham, where he's continued to fly. His brother too is doing well at university, and I'm really glad, even in the down days, that I'm here to see it. I wouldn't have had the fantastic holiday last year with both my lads canoeing down the River Severn, most of which I think I drank. And I wouldn't have seen my beloved Brummies come back and win the National League twice. And most poignantly of all, I would not have witnessed that fantastic ride by Danny Ayres in the British final. So even though I still have dark days and sometimes I still wake up disappointed, I keep going because I want to see my kids graduate. I want to have more fun times with them. And most of all, I want to see the Brummies whoop the arse of all the other inferior teams out there. Sometimes you just have to hang on. So please, for me and for Danny, when you say hello to someone this week and beyond, just ask them if they're okay. and then look them in the eyes and ask them again. So that number for the Samaritans again is 116123. And also there's a new thing come out called the Speedway Riders Support Line number. So if you're a Speedway rider and you just want to talk to somebody, you can ring 07749 554 369. We'll put those up on the shout box as well. Danny's family have asked for donations to be made in his memory at the mental health charity Mind. These can be found at www.mind.org.uk, or you can just Google Mind, all in capitals, and the first hit that you get will be that organisation. I'd like to finish my little, I don't know what this is, this little speech, whatever it is, by apologising to my friends in the studio. They've got no idea I was going to be doing this. Mind you, I think they'd say that's nothing.
No.
So anyway, in the studio tonight, we have got Chris Webby-Browne.
Good evening.
Chris, you all right, mate?
I'm fine, thank you.
You sure?
I am, yeah.
Fantastic. And we've got Matt Buck. Matt, are you okay?
I'm fine, thank you.
Absolutely?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Fantastic.
Good evening, everyone.
I don't know you any money yet.
I beg your pardon?
I don't know you any money yet. You're not normally this nice.
I'll check. I'll check. So, yeah, obviously this programme is going to be as much as possible about Danny Ayres. We will talk about anything and everything that anybody wants to talk about.
Lovely words, says Craig to me.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, so it's very difficult to know what to say, isn't it? I mean, I don't think anybody would have picked.
Just completely knocked me for six when I saw the news last Saturday, was it?
It was like, yeah, I think it was,
Absolutely.
It's just something that you don't expect to hear, is it?
Not
To
at all.
the outside world, I think everybody would have seen Danny and not really thought there's anything wrong. But as you say, that's the thing with mental illness. It's not or mental health issues. It's
it's inside.
It's not a physical thing, is it? It's
inside, and you can't see it. And the only way you can find out is by
and it's important to say that it affects anybody. Even people that have been hugely successful in their life.
Absolutely.
They can be affected by it.
There was that. Is it Gary Speed? Was it? Have I got
Gary
Yes,
Speed?
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
Gary
yeah.
Speed. I mean,
Yeah,
he was on
Welsh National.
he was on the BBC the day before, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Just years, and he seemed jovial enough and seemed happy enough. But yeah,
To those outside of Speedway, because we've got a few people across the pond who are listening, just give us a brief biog of Danny.
Who are you? That's what we want to know. Who are you?
Of Danny.
Of Danny, okay.
Yeah, so people can,
Oh, I'm probably the wrong person to.
I know, but what you know.
What I know of Danny's, I mean, was when Birmingham were in the third tier in the National League. He sort of came on this into my consciousness as this rider that just nothing's going to stand in his way.
Yeah.
He's going to get past you. And he just put it heart and soul. And I know Craigley fans in particular really took to him, didn't they? Because of his.
Yeah, I think Danny was one of those riders. If he was riding for your team, he was immediately someone who won you over because he just he didn't leave anything on the track, did he?
No, never ever. And also he was a rider that if he was against you, you would admire him.
Yeah.
But B, you would go, oh, for God's sake, stop it. Somebody stop him for goodness sake. And then there was that ride in the British final,
Which I think catapulted him to another level, didn't it? So I think a lot of people I think obviously National League fans and Championship fans, obviously because he's ridden in the Championship as well, had known all about him. But I think really the rest of the country just sort of took notice and like, wow, who is this guy?
it's a real talent. I mean,
a late starter as well.
Well, I was about to say that.
I think so.
Very sort of John Louis, John Louis started very late, but became a top rider. I don't see any reason why Danny couldn't have become.
I mean, I was,
as established rider.
As people who know me know that obviously I do work for Rerun Productions at Birmingham, and I was fortunate enough to interview Danny on a couple of occasions. I always found him very polite. Wasn't someone who would turn you away. He was happy to talk to anybody in the pits. And I just always got the impression as well he was very, very focused. It was like Speedway was, his escape, if you
Yes,
like.
I mean that's come across very
quite
clear, hasn't it, this
Yeah.
week with some of the things that his wife has said, that that Speedway was his way away from his mental problems. We've got a few comments coming up. I can't actually read them, I'm afraid. So
Okay,
you have to read them for me.
Okay, I'll go. Christian, they said, it's horrendous news, but I must say the response from the Speedway family and beyond has been remarkable. The kind words from riders and fans to the fundraising for his family is unbelievable. I was looking forward to seeing more of him this season. It was looking to be his biggest season to date in 2020, and I think he'd have really pushed on this season. That's from Craig.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
It was going to be a big year for him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because, riding for Ipswich as well in the top flight.
Well, he showed what he can do in the British final, didn't he? So he did, yeah. I mean, we've lost the talent.
Have we got that? Because we'll have to play that at some point, won't
I'm
we?
sure. I'm sure
find it,
Chris will dig it out, the British final, his ride on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, look, yeah, Danny, yeah.
I'm sure it's there somewhere.
Can also quickly say before we get on, we're live tonight on Facebook, we're live on Twitter, and we're live on our YouTube channel. We're also live on Podbean, which is the app that people can phone in on. Regarding our YouTube channel, it's a new old channel because it's a channel we used to have years ago, and I've sort of resurrected it. So now.
You'd forgot we'd got it, and then you remember. That's what's happened. Isn't
So
it?
if people want to look at our videos, heaven forbid, then they can go onto the. I'll give details of that after the show where it is and such. But you can interact on YouTube, Twitter. Although I can't monitor Twitter tonight because it's just too much to do.
Is that please? Would somebody if somebody would like to come and join us and help out? Was that what I heard?
Yeah, we could do with a Twitter.
A Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So, I mean, what we'd love you guys to do is to share your memories of Danny and your thoughts and your experiences with mental health. If you want to share, I think the most important thing, as I said, talk to somebody. Because otherwise it's just all internal.
And like we say, it affects anybody in any walk of life, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Do we have any more on the shout box coming up?
Okay.
We've got a few people. We've got somebody phoning in later as well, haven't we?
I think we're just waiting for Carl to ring in. So I know he's online. So if he wants to ring in any time, I'll be ready. Lauren says, well said, Michael. R.E.P. Danny says, Jeff. That's one we've gone through. There's quite a few people there. Can you read that or not?
Yeah, Dave W. This is a new name for me.
Yeah.
I had the great pleasure to have met and spoken with Danny several times when he was a Kent King a few seasons back. Would never have thought he was a fellow sufferer of that evil, that is mental torment. I'm so glad that I met the young man, and I'm very sad to learn of his passage in this tragic way. My heartfelt sympathy and condolences to all his family and close friends. Rest in peace, Danny Ayres. Craig Smee, I was at the meeting for the British final and he nearly joined me in my seat that night. The standing ovation he got from the crowd that night is something I've never seen at a Speedway meeting. For a rider that came second in that race, he was absolutely gutted not to have won that race. He really was. That seems to be a reoccurring theme with Danny. You can see, and it's what Speedway fans are always clamouring for, is somebody that doesn't give up, somebody that, as you said, leaves it all on the track. And the number of, he guested for Birmingham, I think it was last year.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah. And he, by the end of the night, everybody was loving him, loving his antics. He just loved Speedway. And as a Speedway fan, well, you love Speedway as well, so you just warm to him, don't you? It's Ben T by Clifton. I don't feel I can write a fresh tribute. Oh, he's disappeared.
Sorry.
There
you go.
There we go. I don't feel I can write a fresh tribute, but I will post one. I posted on Facebook the other day. Still all too raw. Yeah, man, I think it is very raw. We should mention, I guess, that Mildenhall are having what they're calling Danny's Day. It's interesting, isn't it? Danny wasn't a big star in Speedway yet. I think he's got the potential to become one. But it's hit everybody so hard, and that speaks volumes for the sort of person and the connection that he made with the fans, I guess.
I think so. As I say, I mean, he was one of those. I mean, you go a long way to find a Speedway fan who likes the guest rule. But there was.
If you booked him, yes, please.
You're always happy to have him as a guest because one thing, as I say, you always knew that he'd give absolutely everything he had.
Yes.
He raced every single Speedway race like it was his last one, didn't he? So and even in that race with Bomber in the British final. I mean, even Bomber was really magnanimous afterwards.
He was. Well, I mean,
so.
I read some reports that all the other riders in the pits were coming around to him and saying, "Come on, you can win." And so the actual riders were rooting for him during that meeting as well, because it's just a breath of fresh air. It's proper Speedway, as somebody more famous than me said.
More infamous than you.
I know what I was talking about now. I was going to mention the Mildenhall Day, Danny's Day, which I forgot the date. It's in June 28th.
I think it's something around that time.
Yeah, it seems to ring a bell. We'll get the. So I think it's very important for us to, as a Speedway family, to come together and be there. I'd love to see that place packed out on that day. I've got a feeling it will be. Actually.
I think it will be. Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of people will be going up to watch that one. So
and it's an old-fashioned 4-team tournament. I think Ipswich are racing. Scunthorpe, I believe, Mildenhall, and somebody else who's escaped me. But so that'll be good. And also, there's the Ben Fun meeting in Scunthorpe.
That's right.
Coming up in March, and I can't remember the date of that one either. I'm terrible. I'm almost as bad as Webby.
That is on the 14th of March.
Okay. Do you know what? I'd love to see that place packed out for that.
Well, it's a good racetrack, isn't it?
It's a great racetrack. It's not too difficult to get to.
Yeah.
It's a bit far north for 14th of March.
Just a bit, yeah.
But, it won't be any colder than Leicester was last year. It'd be great to see it packed out. The Ben Fund does such a great job, and they're going to be supporting Danny's family. I mean, they've already, that process has already started, I believe. So, let's just let's pluck the place out. Let's make it the best Ben Fund that there's been, and in Danny's memory.
It'd be nice to think that, wouldn't it? So it's
So I'm going to be there. I've already made my mind up on that one. Other news, while nobody's commenting on this, we'll talk a little bit about the GPs.
Of course, yeah.
Brand new rules going on.
Yeah, the change to the point system. I think we spoke about this in the last show.
Did a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah, so
and we sort of disagreed on whether we thought it was a good idea or a bad idea.
I didn't think it needed changing, to be honest. I thought the scoring system was one good thing about it.
Right.
Just felt like a change for the sake of it.
So, I've always felt it needed changing because I can't get my head around the fact that you can win the meeting but not be the top scorer. That's like, how does that work? And as somebody possibly not a Speedway fan coming in on that, I think that would be one of those things that they'd be going, scratching their head a little bit.
Just a bit, yeah. As I say, possibly you could have changed the points scoring for the top four riders in the meeting, but
so I just don't see the point in there being finals and all that if it doesn't make any difference to you where you finish in the meeting.
I guess really there's just a commitment to the last race of the meeting being the one that everybody's waiting for, the one that's going to decide who wins it.
So at least whoever wins it is going to get those full points. There's the old argument whether you should have semi-finals and the final anyway, and whether the old. But that's sort of my point. You either have the system where it's points and it's the points that mean prizes, or you have a semi-final and a final, and it's those that are important.
I do think it needs freshening up a little bit, in fairness, because I think that the JP over the last couple of years maybe has gone a little bit stale. I mean, it shouldn't have any excuse because you look at the lineup for the JP and the talent that's in there. That should speak for itself. But I think it's fair to say quite a few of the GPs last season were not particularly good to watch. Track conditions obviously been a key part in that.
Yes.
Probably the best one was Rosslav. That was a superbly prepared track, and we had the best GP of the season. But
Just shows you too many preparation is so important. It's the
Well, we've also got the two track curators, of course, who are now operating as advisors. This was something with news that broke up. Terry Schrabach and Andy Meredith.
Both who prepare very different types of tracks, I think.
Well, Terry Schrabach is back at Wolves this season doing the track, which is.
I understand,
But I mean,
because obviously he's not Stoke, so
that's right. Yeah, so they're now operating as advisors to all the Premiership, Championship, and National Development League clubs to give it its proper title.
Good move, bad move, or cosmetic?
Well, I think there's. I mean, so many riders over the last couple of years have criticised tracks in the UK for not being very well prepared. Some tracks more so than others, I think it's fair to say. I think at the end of the day, all the riders just want to be able to go to a meeting and know that it's a track that it's safe to race on.
It's not going to spit them off.
Yeah. So
yeah. I do believe we've got the paper. I'm going to need my headphones on, aren't I, for this now? How are you doing?
I'm good, considering obviously what's been going on.
Yes. I mean, have you got any thoughts that you'd like to share about Danny, or any little anecdotes?
Yes, I mean, I know Danny. I met him in 2016 down at Kent. He turned up as this long-haired boy that was going to take over the world. And if he could have stayed on for any of the 4 laps at the start, we all knew once he'd learned how to do that, he was going to be a tiger. And like we've always said about Danny, if you could learn to tame a lion, then you could have learned to tame Danny. But I don't think no one ever got to learn to tame that lion in the end. He was one passionate rider.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing that comes out is the passion that he had for Speedway and that he had for his riding. Unbelievable. And I think everybody's reaction within the Speedway world is sort of the proof of that pudding.
Exactly. I mean, I had many chats with him in the pits because he'd have come second to probably one of the top riders. Maybe he'd come second to Ben Morley in the National League, and he'd come in very disappointed with himself. And I'm like, Danny, this is your first season. You need to look at the situation and try and channel that energy into focus. Right, is there anything we can do with a change on the setup or something else we could do, rather than get angry with yourself and then the old red mist comes down? Because it used to, it was never the greatest of gators, and he'd miss a gate, and you just knew it was Mr. Entertainment was coming.
Yeah, absolutely. So I believe you got something going on with the dirt bike show?
The dirt track show.
Yes, that was it.
So the minute obviously we heard about the news and stuff, I spoke with Jodie, which is Danny's wife, and I spoke to David, which is Danny's dad, and just said, look, I've known Danny long enough. I want to do something. The guy he had a lot of time. He helped my little boy, Cooper Joe. I've got some videos of them two riding together, and Danny had time for everybody. So it's only right that, well, and as you can see from the people that are on the social media, he touched a lot of hearts. So we've got the Dirt Track Show, which is on March the 7th and 8th at King's Lynn. And what we're going to do, Danny was famous for Mr. Pink, basically. He was the pink man with the pink gloves and the pink socks. So we want to turn it into a massive celebration for Danny. He was never, obviously, for the guys who knew him, he was certainly not one of the quietest ones. So we don't want to be all morbid and stuff, because Danny would not be that. And so doing a minute silence certainly didn't work for Danny. So we are going to do a minute of noise. And we're going to have 130 riders out on track on the centre green. And they're all going to be wearing pink gloves. They've been sponsored to us. And if it's okay, if I could do some thank yous to 4 people that have made this happen, basically. So Tony Petchell at Action Wheels, I know he's very passionate about this. He was one of Danny's big sponsors. Marcus at STS, again, another big fan of Danny's and a big sponsor to him. Barry Bishop at Hedgehog Racing, and Andy Harrison, Luke Harrison's dad. Them guys have come forward and they've donated over 130 pairs, and that's for the kids, the adults. So literally every class of rider will have pink gloves, and we're going to make it a big celebration for Danny. Danny's family are going to be there for the weekend as well. And we're just going to have one big celebration.
Brilliant. And if people want to come to that, is it a ticket affair or can they just turn up on the door?
Yeah, no, that we do tickets that are pre-sold and you can get them on the door. So it's dirttrackshow.com. So tickets are cheaper, obviously, online than what they are on the door. But one other big shout out that we do, the team of 2016, which was led by the captain, Mr. Bowen, 747, Mr. Luke Bowen. Me and him have been having a chat, and the boys are going to pull out the stop. So they're going to be cycling from the Mildenhall track up to the Kings Lynn track and arriving just before the minute of noise, and then they're going to do a lap of Kings Lynn. So just as a rider heads up, we've got Luke Bowen, Jack Thomas, Nathan Stoneman, Dan Hume, Carl Hughes, Luke Clifton, Connor Coles, Alex Spooner, Georgie Wood, Ryan Kingsley, and Sam Beebe, as it stands at the moment, just come on their push bikes. Again, some of them couldn't ride on the day, so they wanted to do other things, and we just want to put it all together and have one big celebration of 2, 3, 4 wheels. And Danny was on my list to come and ride the meeting, which makes it a little bit extra special. Mm-hmm. Danny's bikes are going to be there as well. I know his mechanic Darren is cleaning the bikes today as we speak. So big shout out to him. He's going to be bringing Danny's bikes, and I know that Mildenhall are going to be there as well with some of their riders. So it's come and show your support. We'll have some stickers on site that people can buy as well, and all the riders are going to be paying for their own gloves, and then all the money will be going back to Jody and the family.
Times like that.
Massive. Look, if this was somebody else, Danny would be his first one to have his name down as riding. And we was all trying to think back in the old days. It was like Shane Parker would always do a testimonial on a pair of boxer shorts. So Lukey Bowen was trying to think of someone. So if someone's volunteering to come and ride in boxer shorts in March, then drop me a message.
Right. I really haven't got anything to say to that. Matt, would you like to take up the offer on that? Mind you, we want people to turn up, don't we?
Because we know if we'd have put this in
right,
the group.
Well, thank you very much. Well, we will put that website up on the shout box so that people can just click on it and yeah, come on, everybody, let's get down to Kings Lynn and show our support for Danny. There's quite a few things happening for him, and again,
yes,
they're all just so many things.
Thank you very much, and good luck.
Thank you for your time, guys, and keep up the good work. And like you say, with the mental health thing, guys, just my take on it is it's not that bad that we can't talk about it. We just need to talk. We know we're all men and we know we're all stubborn, but if we just talk a bit more, then some things are not quite as bad as they seem.
Absolutely. You take care.
Thank you very much.
And you guys, thank you very much.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Yeah, well, there you go. We got anything else coming up on the shout box before we continue?
Apologies about the
we can't hear Michael. Well, that's not a bad thing.
Well, as usual, not all bad.
Only for a split second. I had to do it the old-fashioned fade as well. Can I have my phone back?
Of course you can have the phone
Don't
back.
drop it, whatever you do.
No, well, I wouldn't do the first time. Right.
I think the one thing it shows as well, really, is that, Danny obviously had a sadly all too short life, but in that short life, he touched so many people's hearts and, left a mark, didn't he? So
it's sad in a way because you would love him to be seeing this and being aware of this, and maybe if he knew that this is people's response, maybe he wouldn't have. Who knows?
Well, we're never going to know, are we? Because it was obviously something that was kept very, very private and well hidden. So
and talk to people, guys.
Yeah,
talk to people. If you come away from today with one thing, and I'm going to give that number out again, actually. So get your pens ready. So the Samaritans is 116123, and I've got to be honest, I've got that in my wallet. Not for me, but just in case somebody else needs it. And so
absolutely,
I just think it's everybody should have that number. And the Speedway Rider Support Line number is 07749554369. There we go. Right, we was talking about. Doesn't seem important.
No,
we was talking about the GPs. Who's your money on this year?
Well, Bartosz Marzik obviously had a fantastic couple of years, really, hasn't he?
Can you do back-to-backs? It's very difficult.
Well, only the very, very best of them can do back-to-backs, can't they? I think Nicky Pedersen was the last one to do it, and that's sort of 12, 13 years ago. There's a possibility. I mean, he's certainly set. It's going to be interesting to see how he fares.
With this new system,
being chased as opposed to one doing the chasing.
And of course, this new system is going to have a sort of premium on winning. It's not so much about now of being consistent, and it's
just picking in seconds and thirds and things like that. You've got to go out and try and win races now.
Yeah.
So that's which is good in a sense as well, because it's sort of it doesn't have that thing where riders are going to just I'm already in the.
Yeah, I've picked up enough points today. I'm okay.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see if that changes the dynamic. Whether that will suit, I don't know, a Ty Woffington more than a Bartek Smarslik, or Emil's Savutinov.
Absolutely, yeah. He just needs that little bit of consistency, I think, Emil, doesn't he? Because that's been the problem that he's had really all the way through his career. He
started off last season and we was a bit. I think he's had his day, which just seems a ridiculous thing to say about somebody as young as he is. But all of a sudden, he started becoming the rider that we know and love.
Maybe peaked a little bit too early last season, I think. I think we all remember when he first came into the GPs, the impression that he made.
Yeah. Much the same could be said for Darcy Wood, of course, and
absolutely.
Lost to the Speedway
It's
world.
It's going to be an interesting series. I mean, Ty Woffington's going to be desperate to make amends for
a very average sort of season for by standards anyway.
Maybe Greg Hancock's obviously coming back into the GPs after a year out.
That's going to be an.
Is he going to be able to sort of? I mean, I don't.
How old will he be now?
Well, he's 50 now, isn't he?
50. Do you think this might be his lap of honour?
Well, you're always reluctant to write him off, aren't you? Because he just keeps coming back and proving you wrong. But to be fair to Greg, I don't think he would have taken the wild card if he didn't think he was still capable of performing on the day.
Yeah,
because still
Speedway riders always are capable of performing until they go, I can't.
I think he's always said as long as he feels that he can still compete at the top level, he's going to carry on. So
nobody's going to argue with it.
Oh no, not at all. I mean, I don't think I think it'll be a long time before you see anybody who's sort of stays at the top for the length of time that he's managed to do it.
Just got to Lawrence Rogers has said John Armstrong is organising pink bands to sell at all tracks to raise funds for the family. We'll have to get some for in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll have to get some for in here. So I'll have a chat with you, Lawrence, later and see how we can sort that out. And
I'm going to get something up for you in 2 seconds. You just can't.
Okay. Okay, so we can't read that now. Okay, so we should talk a little bit. We mentioned the man, Mr. Pedersen, Nicky Pedersen, coming back to British Speedway. It's actually seemed to have got quite a bit of news.
Certainly did at the time, didn't it? It was a massive announcement. So,
good thing, bad thing? I think it's a good thing, isn't it?
I think so, without doubt. I mean, he's not the force he was, but he's still more than capable of,
He's still bringing people are still rubbing their hands together, and he's still going to be that pantomime villain, isn't he?
Well, that's what Speedway needs, a pantomime, doesn't it? It's.
Oh no, it doesn't.
No, yes, it does.
Oh no, it doesn't.
Just stop now. Sorry. Just stop. For goodness sake.
I'll sort of teeing him up for that a little. I mean, I still think he's more than capable of doing a job in the top flight in British Speedway. Obviously, his first match is going to be against Wolves. I'm sure he'll get a wonderful reception. I'm sure they'll be cheering, singing his name from the rafters at Monmore Green when he walks out onto the track.
Of course, they will.
Like he always used to when he.
Wasn't he a Wolverhampton asset at one point?
He did ride for Wolverhampton for a couple of seasons back in the late 90s, and hasn't ridden for Wolves since.
Right.
I think,
which probably tells the story.
I think it's fair to say at the time he really found getting to grips with Monmore Green a bit of a struggle, to be honest. But and I don't think he was altogether popular with some of his teammates.
I'm getting a bit worried. Chris is approaching me with a phone.
Something from Ben. It's quite a lot to read.
Okay.
Well, this is what we asked for, isn't it?
Okay. Might have to take the glasses off. So this is obviously
From Ben T.
from Ben T-Boy. Wow, I've got to find the beginning. It's about 6 miles up. I might not read all of this, but we'll see. Okay. So this is from Ben T-Boy Clifton.
Yeah,
yes?
I believe you knew Danny.
I first saw Danny ride at Leicester in 2014 in his Raiders debut. The man was so much faster than everyone else and won a heat despite remounting twice. Where he won another after remounting and finished the race with a puncture. I spoke to Danny for the first a week or so later at Stoke, when again, whilst leading a race by half a lap, he struck the last air fence panel coming off bend 4, lap 4. His bike stopped. Danny flew half a length of the straight, red light straight on, and paramedics running. That is where we saw one of Danny's many attributes in the fact that while still tumbling at 30 miles an hour down the track, he was already desperately trying to get back to his feet, which he did, and ran back to his bike. That's where we saw another major characteristic of the great man. Despite having one of the biggest crashes of the year, he could not believe the audacity of the ref stopping the race and denying them the chance to remount for a point. Having a chat with him that night, he was like an excited child on Christmas Eve. I might read all of this. This is brilliant. He was like an excited child on Christmas Eve, stuck in a man's body. But also, it was very obvious how sincere and generous and gracious he was shortly afterwards. He signed for Kent, much to our delight, and to be honest, his Speedway story from then on, most people already know. It was around this time Danny's mum, Anne, first made contact because she wanted to thank me for positives I'd written about her boy in the updates. And then, from then on, Anne was very much like extended family right until her untimely passing. It was actually through chatting to Anne that Danny finally put 2 and 2 together and realised the lad who kept saying hello to him at away meetings was the same lad who writes the updates. From then on, Danny treated me as if I had been a friend for years. The magic of Danny was whether it was your introduction to him or you'd know him for years, he had time for you. He made you feel special. When Danny spoke with you, you had his undivided attention for those moments, whether it be a very young fan or a 75-year-old pensioner. He would often come to me to ask about different rules, and I'd often spend 5 minutes in the van with him after a meeting. If he scored 14 points, he would be devastated it wasn't 15. If he won a race, he would be annoyed at his times or his gating was off. Basically, he was never satisfied. He always wanted to deliver more. This is typified by what the wider community will mostly remember Danny by, that race in Manchester against Bomber. Most riders from the National League would dream of a race like that against a national treasure, but all Danny saw was a point dropped. Danny was a man of the people, a man that loved and loved to be loved. He took all sorts of people under his wing, and literally anyone who met him was made to feel a friend. Reading all of the tributes is so haunting in many ways. It makes you question whether Danny really knew that whilst everyone loved the showman and the Speedway rider, Danny Ayres, everyone loved the man behind the scenes too. Danny took everyone he encountered on their own different journey with him. There were many laughs and a few tears, but every one of us have our own special moment with him. I think both my best and worst memories involve Anne. Watching Danny lead his mum into the crematorium on his bike was one of the toughest things I've had to witness. In all honesty, a small part of Danny was never the same after his mum passed away. But it was watching the absolute joy it put in Danny's eye when he won races for his mum, Jodie, and his sister that really made my day. He always loved winning, but to make the girls proud lit an extra something in Danny boy. Another fond memory centres around the dynamics in the pits in the early days, with Danny often boiling at gas mark 10. The calmer heads of David and Jamie used to often work on the rider as much as the bike, but they were an awesome team. I regret so much that we spoke less often in recent years, but boy, it was still quality over quantity. Danny, no man in any pro sport has ever done what you have done, ripped up the rule books and did it your way, and no one will ever be so universally loved by everyone they met as you. You touched the hearts of many. None of these seem overly real at the moment. I still have no adequate words for his closest family and friends other than you were all in my thoughts. Much love, Danny boy. Rest in peace. Well, I think you've given all the words that you need to there. That's fantastic.
Fantastic tribute. Well done, Ben.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I believe you've got video. haven't
I'm
you?
going to
You
sort.
got-
I've got the championship one ready.
And there was another video that you
There's
sent.
another one. I'll try and get that one as well. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we'll put Danny on. I think
Yep.
that would be.
I think that's appropriate, isn't it? So
best
it's
thing
the
to
race
do.
everyone's going to remember it for, isn't it? So
Yeah, we're just setting. Okay, we need to get somebody.
you're already on the
in,
edge of your seat, aren't you? Ready for this, aren't you? So,
It was an unbelievable race. I mean, the fact that Bomber passed him and then he repassed him.
yeah.
I mean, he had the race.
He had it beaten,
won.
didn't he? So,
Yeah.
but, I think possibly guilty of trying a bit too hard.
Is that something to be guilty of? Is that not what we loved about him?
Absolutely. You
Yeah,
couldn't have,
Okay, right. Just
go for it.
Just go for it. Yeah. Of course, if you're not watching on Facebook, this is not so good for you. But okay, are we still on?
I think still there, one.
I can hear it. I
No.
can just about hear now.
It was that pass there, the way he went, unbelievable. And he wasn't going to let him go around the outside of him, was he? Which is in the end what lost him the race. And he got it won just there.
Oh,
And then the reaction of Bomber at the end of this was a lovely moment. And then the crowd. I've never seen that before. Not for a second.
not for a second now.
Yeah,
There we go.
there we go. I don't think I'll ever tire of watching that. And it was that reaction by the crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was just.
That just said everything that we've been trying to say, or not better than we possibly could. I believe we've got something else coming up.
I've got that ready.
All right, okay, right.
Okay.
Just keep working, keep working.
We'd
Yes,
like a producer out of him yet, won't we? So
we'll make something out of him.
a fool about it. I think.
Yeah, I mean, it feels almost superfluous to say anything else now after that race and after the tributes that we've heard tonight.
I think people can say as many great things down the Ayres as they're all going to say, but for me, I think the perfect tribute to him is that race at Belgium.
I have got something that I would like to say actually, which is to all you promoters out there. I mean, look after your riders. You know, think about these things. Perhaps are they okay before you start saying, "Well, come on, you've got to score more points" or whatever it is. Look after your riders. I mean, there were so many riders last year. I mean, Zach Vitanek and other riders that they succumbed to pressure, and we've got so many young riders out there.
Yeah,
that need looking. You know, they need looking after.
Zach in particular, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
he was sort of,
But I mean, the other thing about that was that Zach was coming under a lot of pressure from supporters and fans. Things that were said on social media about him and on different forums and so on, and that happens for all riders. And I know it's just the way of things now, but think about this is a person you're talking about.
It's very, very easy to say something when you sat behind a keyboard, isn't it? That's
So, you know, we have responsibility as well. And next time you boo a rider, particularly if it's your own rider, because that happens, just think about, you know, people, you know, what might be behind a particularly bad performance or something.
I can just about cope with the booing, to be honest. It's just when people start making personal abuse. I mean, my theory has always been the moment somebody starts making personal abuse, they've lost the argument. They just can't think of anything else to say. If you can't be constructive, don't say anything at all.
Yeah, well, I agree. So, but I think, you know, your Twitters and your Facebooks and your Instagrams and some of the...
That's the bad side of social media. I mean, I love social media. It's a fantastic tool when used properly, but in the wrong hands, it can be quite nasty, unfortunately, as we've seen.
Okay, ready to go with this?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
No sound?
Yeah, I don't know what's going to say.
Oh dear, need a new producer. How are we doing? Are we still live while you're fiddling about? Yeah, okay. So, okay.
Okay.
Hi everyone, it's Dave, Danny's dad. Jodie is in the room with me, being a bit shy at the moment. We just thought we'd try and do a video to put something out there about what is going to happen this Friday. So, to be starting with, Millwall Stadium is going to open at 12 o'clock for everyone that wants to come to the stadium. It's going to open at 12 o'clock, and what we're going to do is Danny, hopefully, weather permitting, is going to be doing his last lap round there. I've spoken to certain riders and they're going to come round and follow Danny round. This is going to happen at 1 o'clock. Once he's done a lap and everyone at the stadium that wants to wave and do what they want to do, shout and everything for Danny, he's then going to be going to Bury St Edmunds Crematorium. That ceremony starts at 2 o'clock. So if people are going to go straight there, you need to be there just before 2. Anyone that wants to stay at the stadium to watch it, it is going to be live linked and it will be going around the stadium. We will send out the link for it so that if people are going to stadiums, if people just want to sit in their own home and watch it on the phone, watch it at work, you can log in and actually watch the whole ceremony as it goes off. Soon as we're finished at the crematorium, we're going to go back to the Speedway Stadium, where between 4 and 4:30, hopefully to have some people do some speeches for Danny. After that, we'll have a couple of drinks on Danny, and then we'll have a bit of like an open mic session for anyone. There'll be riders there'll be people that have got fond memories of Danny. If they want to get up and share them, they can get up and share them with us. Later on, we are going to have live music, because at the end of the day, Danny liked to party, so we'll be having a party. Hopefully not the sort of music that Danny liked, because I didn't, but we'll be having a party. And if people, when they get to the stadium, can just bear in mind that we've got to get Danny in and then we've got to get him out. So we need certain areas where we can manoeuvre the hearse in and out, and then hopefully people can follow on. And as I say, if you want to just go to the stadium, you can watch it at the stadium. If you want to come to the crematorium, you can go to the crematorium.
Yeah, and just so hi everyone. I will be taking my kids to the stadium. Both Leah and Anaya will be there, but they won't be coming to the crematorium with me. But I wanted them to be a part of the day, and I know he means a lot to other children out there, and he's loved by all, and I just wanted it so the kids were a part of it as well. I didn't want to take that away from them. That's just a thing for the kids. And also wearing, so many people asking us what we're wearing, and just to be clear, wear what you want. it's Danny, like all I was saying was, I'm gonna have black on, but I'm gonna honour Danny wearing a bit of pink. I think Dave's gonna do pink as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a pink shirt on.
I was gonna say a pink suit then.
No, pink shirt.
Love that.
And me Crombie, because he always used to like being me Crombie. Yeah. There'll be riders there in Kevlars. There'll be people, if you just want to wear a pair of pink socks.
Yeah.
But make sure you're fully clothed. But if you want to just have pink socks on, pink socks. I've got a pink shirt. Other people might wear a white shirt, pink tie. Yeah. Wear whatever you want. If you want to show a bit, because Danny's favourite colour was pink. If you want to put something pink, have something pink. I know there's plenty of people out there that will pair, but just wear what you want. Wear what you feel comfortable in. And at the end of the day, Danny was never the snappiest of dressers, but but his favourite colour was pink, and it's about how people feel. You just go to wear team colours. If you've got a team jacket and you're coming from one of the teams he's ridden for, or any team, because he's ridden for lots, he guested for lots. But if you want to wear your team jackets, wear your team jackets. Wear shirt, whatever you want, you wear it. We're happy for people to be comfortable.
Yeah, because I just think, he just wants to entertain you for one last time, just a bit of Danny. So we just want to say a few thank yous.
There's a lot of thank yous out there, especially to like the Speedway family for the tributes. The messages have just been, unreal. The words that people have said, everything that's going on.
And it just gets you, it's really given us strength, because, it's blown us all away, and it's not, it's not just our Danny, is he?
No.
It just gets us through when we're at night time, and You know,
and you can see some of the things people, you know, we know he was loved. So going on from that, the like to Carl from Motor Show Events, Carl, you know, got in touch with me straight away. He's known Danny years. He once done a video of his son and Danny, and it was so comical, you know. And I can't thank Carl enough for putting us right to the front of his motor show event at King's Lynn in March. You know, the 7th and 8th of March, he's got pink gloves, he's got everything going. You know, it's going to be a great time there at his show, and everyone can go. And it's not just that's not just about Speedway, that's about everything.
Yeah.
You know, but it's nice that he's put Danny in now.
Yeah.
So we want to thank him for that. But go to like the Ben Fund, you know, for all the help they're doing in trying to set up a trust for Jodie and the girls for the future. You know, it's
because that's all he ever wanted to do.
Yeah.
He just wanted to look after me and the girls, and in a funny sort of way, bittersweet way. He's doing that through you and the Ben Fund. So yeah, for me and my girls and
me
and our family, like, we just thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts.
As for flowers, people have asked about flowers. At the crematorium, we're really just gonna, you know, just have family flowers there and that. But if people want to go to the stadium, there's already a fantastic tribute place in his pits where people have put such great messages and flowers and presents and stuff like that. You know, if you want to bring flowers and you want to say something, you write it down. We'll be reading it, but write it down and and it can go in his pit bay. There's going to be a bike in his pit bay, and you know, for the tribute to Danny there, it's just unreal at the moment. You know, so if you want to bring flowers and you want to put your messages in there, or just put messages, or just, you know, anything you want, that's the place to go. It'll be in his pit bay, and you know.
Yeah, and then obviously if you don't want to bring flowers, we are taking like contributions like to Mind. We're taking that to Mind, and you can make contributions on the day to Southgate's funeral directors in Newmarket. They're doing a collection, and you can ring them direct. But if you do it on the day, it all gets counted up, and then it goes in Danny's memory towards Mind. So it's up to you what you do. But like I say, if you really want to bring flowers, that's fine. Just put them in his pit bay, and yeah. So and then.
But then we've got some other thank yous to go.
Yeah.
Lorna Smith.
This is a big one.
Lorna Smith, the race jacket.
Yeah.
From the British final. That means so much. It meant so much to Danny, and it means so much to all of us for you to have donated that back so that we can have that with him.
Yeah, you watch that race about 5 or 20 times a day.
Yeah.
Watching yourself again, babe. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just looking to see if he could ever beat Bomber that day. But as far as Danny's day in June, Mildenhall Stadium and the management team from Mildenhall, you know, don't know how to thank you enough for all you're doing now and the stuff you're planning for the future. You know, to the promoters, Rob Godfrey from Scunthorpe, you know, Rob was straight on the case, and Len Silver, who's been with Danny since day one. You know, you can't thank Len enough for bringing the team up. Chris Louis, again, was so looking forward to Danny riding for Ipswich, like all of us were. You know, it would have been great for us. It's local, was looking forward to going. And for them people to actually put on a meeting in Danny's honour, and for the riders that have said they're going to be there to take part, you know, it's really overwhelming. And we just want to thank everyone for everything everyone is doing. And at this time, it's the only way we could think of doing this is to put something out there.
Because That's what Danny would have done. 'Cause
Yeah.
He didn't like words, and me and Dave were struggling because it's not the sort of thing we do.
No, it's not.
Video. We like in the background, but he loved the limelight. So
Yeah.
we're trying to do Danny Ayres style.
But it's not quite as unique as his.
No.
Even though I have
Not
taken the
quite
mic.
entertainment.
Yeah, I have taken the mic and tried to tell him a couple of times what to say, but he had his own way of doing it.
Yeah.
But he just loved to entertain, and at the end of the day, we're going to give him his one last chance to entertain everyone, and it's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day. So everyone that wants to come, as I say, you can go to the stadium as long as you're there. The stadium's opening at 12. Go there. Pay your respects to Danny, cheer, shout, because that's what he would have loved. People that are going to just go to the crematorium, as I say, it starts at 2. We're just overwhelmed, lost for words on what to say. But it's a heartfelt thanks. It's a heartfelt thanks from me, Jodie, and all the family. That he was loved so much.
And that's it, really. So hopefully we'll see you
Friday.
Love to you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, well, we thought that was an appropriate way to finish the show. Obviously, it's carrying on for a little bit longer than we realised, and we run out of time. But what we will do is we'll put the address on the shout box so that you can get onto Facebook and watch all that. Obviously, all the details about Danny's funeral and so on. It's been a strange show, but one that we've never started this early in the season. But it was one that we felt that we just had to do.
I think if we've helped someone along the way, then I think it's worth it.
Exactly, just one person would. Yeah. So guys, look after yourselves out there. Talk to someone if you need to. And let's have a great season. When we next come back, I'm entirely sure, but it'll probably be the beginning of March, I would think.
Yep.
We will talk about the Ben Fund.
Yep. We'll be previewing the season.
We'll be making our predictions. We want your predictions.
Yeah.
I obviously will be predicting that Birmingham's going to win everybody, and you're going to be predicting that Wolverhampton will be changing things soon.
Ben's obviously going to be defending his prediction. Championship.
We'll be starting that on.
I can also say we'll have the phone in sorted as well.
Yeah.
It's great. It's been working perfectly for 2 months. I mean,
but you did say you jumped on the mixer earlier. So
something fell off the shelves. I think something's played up. But the one knob, we really, really wanted it to work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, let's stick with that Podbeam because it really it's a brilliant system. We just had a bit of a problem tonight because
we turned up.
We turned up. Yeah, that's basically what happened. We turned up.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's been a show about all sorts of things tonight, with Speedway possibly taking a back seat a little bit. Normal service obviously will be resumed, but we're not going to forget about Danny for the rest of this season. So watch this.
I think we should. I think really it'd be nice if we dedicated this show to Danny's memory, wouldn't it? So,
yes, to Danny's memory, to his family, and to anybody out there that's suffering at the moment. Talk to someone. It's important. And I'll give that number again: 116 123. Write it down. They're brilliant. That's all I can say from personal experience. Right, on that note, see you for the new season soon. I'm starting to get a bit excited actually.
When you say
we think at the beginning of March, but we'll sit down and work out when you've got Podbean working.
So 2 years time.
Excuse me. So, don't laugh.
Let's not laugh about it. No, it's just a serious thing.
Yeah, everybody take care out there, and we will see you soon. Bye bye.
Good night.